The Isle of Kaelmer. Okay. Alright. Spring of Jomir. Right. Bertrude slithers up to you as the black wagon passes through the skies above her former abode.
Our kind who lurk below, they would scarce believe we soar above them now. We told them when Sandalwood came to fetch us that we shall not return for some time. Our most accomplished laborers, with whom we shared so many moons in exile, we trust that they shall carry forth the reputation of our services, for we taught them all we know.
She seems almost nostalgic as she lifts off the various services provided at Big Bertrude's. Curses, balms, potions, powders, cleaning reagents, sleep medicines, fungicides, seances. Big Bertrude's earned quite a name for itself throughout the way downside for these and other things.
When we are finished here, provided we do not return from whence we came, we shall return to our establishment and carry on our business there, for there is much demand.
Yeah, I don't plan on sending you back, Bertrude. South route across Jomir Valley. Okay. Let's go this way. You do your best to keep up with Pamitha as she delves into the rocky pathways of Fallflat. She indicates that some of her winged sisters may be nearby to lend their aid. This is as far as you can follow, reader darling. Please excuse me for a little while. She swoops off, leaving you on your own. Some time passes, during which you can almost feel the downside encroaching all around you, and then... Well, that was certainly interesting. I suggest we get out of here. It would appear that Pyre Hearts will have a little accident that should dampen their spirits. -3 hope, oh. You find Pamitha by herself again, though her expression is growing darker than her custom. Leave me be, would you, reader darling? Trying to get some good and proper mopping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be, reader. Just leave me be, reader. Just leave me be. You don't want to know what's lurking in my heart or mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. Yet something about her thought process is different to you now. You know that, with her conditioning, she could resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. I'll leave her alone. Pamitha's thoughts are her own business. The fleeting connection between you soon is severed. Thoughts are loathsome things, reader. It is difficult to know how best to hide them. Mine are plain enough for you to see by now. She exhales and looks askance. You know by now why I'm in this mess with all of you. You could say I lack Tamitha's sense of commitment, her zeal. She lives only to see her nation overthrown, or something worse if she could have her way. Centuries of conflict can be quite emboldening that way, especially when one's sister's leading cause of death is Commonwealth forged steel. Wielded with the utmost of mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it myself. Became a bit of pariah, I suppose. I knew Pamitha was going to get herself and others killed someday, so when she was to fly out on this one big mission of hers, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain. I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet a chance is still a chance. Tamitha was clipped and cast down. A mercy, they called it. I did not see it that way. And in my growing protest of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. She falls silent for a while. I haven't yet decided if I entirely regret my actions, but I do seek Tamitha's forgiveness, and wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she might realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them is the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. Alright, Spring of Jomir. Oh, hey guys. Always nice to see more customers because, I don't always get too much around here and sometimes it gets kind of lonely here, I guess. Oh, that's too expensive, sorry. You're leaving so soon, guys? As you wait the stars, a form dressed in the raiments of the Rites approaches you and Volfred. You at first presume it for one of your next adversaries, the Pyre, but he can't be one of them. Beside you, Volfred starts, something you have never seen him do. You observe the colors that he wears, an inverse of the Nightwings.
Volfred Sandalwood, it has been a while.
No, this cannot be. The demon unfastens his mask.
It can.
You perished. I watched you fall.
You did.
I grieved for years, yet now you live.
I do, although these horns, they grow long ere I could walk again.
Unbelievable. Then why are you here now, Orlek? This is Orlek. If you remember, he was one of Volfred's teammates who died, but he didn't actually die. He got resurrected as a demon. A former exile of the Nightwings, betrayed and abandoned in his moment of glory.
You know full well, Volfred, to reclaim what is mine by right.
The demon Orlek leaves without another word, just as the stars above burst to life and seem to set the sky aflame. Alright, let's undo Yee's lock. I don't need this to be harder than it already is. What happened to the Pyrehearts? The stars showed we were to face them.
They must have suffered a misfortune of some sort.
Tampering with the stars' designs is not permitted, Orlek.
Cheating the worthy of their rightful liberty is not permitted either, Volfred.
You must know I took no part in that betrayal. Search your heart. Orlek says nothing for a time. Then,
where are your raiments, Volfred?
I have refused to wear them since, in show of solidarity to you.
And to elude the voice, I would suppose.
Yes, that too.
I see. You were never very good at this anyway. We shall see if that new lot of yours is any better.
You cannot be serious. What sense is there in thus standing against each other? But Orlek puts on his mask and stands ready.
I shall crush this lot of yours, Volfred. You shall see that I am not so easily discarded. You shall not deny my liberty again.
Reader, the adversary whom we face, Orlek, he is not one to back down. He was very experienced in the rites, even at the time, and so, beware. There was no one in his day who could prevail against him, and he appears even stronger now. I wish I had more valuable advice to give in this. I wish I had foreseen this. Alright. Alright, she's unwell, so we can't use her. Well, I don't want to lose this, so let's just use our best guys. Tizo is filled with mixed emotions in confronting Orlek, but is prepared to fight.
Such a triumvirate you have assembled, Volfred. Then let us see what they can do. Come and face me, false Nightwings! Tizo!
Tizo fumbles with his mask. Tizo recognizes Orlek and greets him tentatively.
It is good to see you.
Orlek reaches for his mask in turn.
How is the horn? Mended?
Tizo indicates his horn has not bothered him for a long time now and thanks Orlek for it.
Good. A full recovery then. But it is unfortunate to see you standing there with them, Tizo. Come with us. No questions asked.
The proposition seems to catch Tizo off guard. Tizo indicates that he will not abandon his friends or their quest. He seems to be pleading with Orlek to stand down, to listen, to not give in to anger. But Orlek shakes his head. He puts his mask back on. This is something I must do, little one. Tizo dons his mask in turn. He chirps nothing more. Crap, okay. Ouch. That was close, okay. I shall not give in to you, false Nightwings. Not while I draw breath. You, who call yourselves the Nightwings, it seems we have learned something from Sandalwood after all. But you are the Nightwings in name only, and as for the Rites, it is a mockery of what it once stood for. All of this, a stain upon the legacy of the Scribes. Yeah, the Nightwings. It's actually a team that's all just made up of Robin. Wolfred looks on as Orlek departs without another word. Orlek, forgive me.
This night wonders at times about why we are here and which forces have transpired to bring us together. Has Under King Orez himself taken an interest in this noble quest? What did I want? Oh, I think this was it. Oh, I didn't know there was a team of Nightwings. I only knew about the Nightwing. In DC. Orlek, he has changed. Scarce resembles now the one with whom we traveled then. I'm afraid so. I can only begin to imagine what he has been through all these years. Rita, as you can see, Orlek and I, we have some years in common. A story for another day. I need some time to look at how all this affects our plan. Rita, madam, Orlek is a principled person. His freedom was denied him just when it was in his grasp. A doleful tale. I wonder if the Robin Nightwing is a reference to that obscure Silver Age character. Or if it's just a coincidence. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Wolfred shall tell you more of him in due time, of that I have no doubt. For now it seems the stars beseech you once again outside. There, deep in the infinite dark, once more you see a single star shining brighter than the rest. Alright, liberation. Oh, it's Barker. The Dissidents. Well, I'm not going to throw this one, that's for sure. so true, baby. Once more, then, unto the fall of Solium. Excellent. Our plan proceeds at pace. We need but continue to make good on all such opportunities the stars present, so much as possible. Then our ranks within the Commonwealth may yet grow strong enough that we shall sway the people toward our cause. It shall be difficult, but the people have their hearts and consciences, and the Commonwealth has long since lost its way. The never-ending wars with the High-Wing remnants, the passing of more sentences of exile than ever before, for increasingly more dubious causes. The burning of books, the outlawing of literacy, these are corruptions of the teachings of the scribes. Together we shall prove it soon enough. Wolfred, sir, what of Orlek? Wolfred says nothing in response at first, but then... Orlek appears to have his own agenda now. We shall have to try and keep an eye on him, although our plan remains the same. Anyway, we have a mountain which we need to climb. Let's all rest up a bit if possible this night. We fly at the break of dawn. Hey, Tizo. Tizo seems despondent following the confrontation with Orlek. Tizo's filled with mixed emotions at having seen Orlek again. Like Wolfred, he thought for sure that Orlek had perished long ago. Tizo's angry that Orlek acted so unfriendly with everyone. Then the little imp looks at you with sadness in his eyes, but says no more. He skitters up into the rafters. The Nightwings. What is a life without an adversary? If not for forces that conspire against the will, life would be devoid of its innateness, the desire to overcome. Thus, when we the eight at last each fashioned a triumvirate based on our own ideals, we realized a void still needed to be filled, as the night sky needs moonlight. We eight were united. Our triumvirates shared our affection. They need us to set them all against a common foe. Thus did we form the Nightwings, a triumvirate envisioned to exceed them all, both through means mortal and divine, and give an undue favor in each turning of the cycle. They are the adversary we all face. So the Nightwings are basically the final boss for everyone else, except we're playing as them. So that's why we have an easier time with the Rites than everybody else seems to. Alright, to the fall of Solium. May gets favor here. Pamitha gets favor here. I think I like using May more than Pamitha. You land amid the splendors of Mount Aladiel, at whose summit awaits the liberation rite. Thus begins our third ascent to the fall of Solium. My agents of the Commonwealth report our plan is proceeding. Let us strive again to liberate one of our own and raise its chances. With some time to spare after having landed, you join May on a brief expedition to the monument of Solium Mur. Thanks be to each of you 8 scribes, for it is you who have united us together in this your most sacred tradition. The path and the outcome are the same, is that not so? But I need not ask, for I am sure of it, and so I shall follow unflinchingly the path you have prepared for me. Soon you and she are finished paying your respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Solium Mur has shown you favor. May seems to be speaking to herself again. She is unaware of your presence, or shows no sign of it at least. Mercy, freedom, they are intertwined. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. Mercy shall engender union among all our different kind. She is reciting passages from the Book of Rites, though to your knowledge she cannot read. Freedom to the worthy. The downside cannot let us all go free, thus freedom to the worthy. Is that not so, O Saint Triesta? Is that not the conclusion which you formed with your 7 most trusted friends? She pauses for a while, as though listening, and nods her head from time to time. Yes, I see. Well, I am ever grateful to you, Saint Triesta, for your guidance and your presence. And I wish all of your friends safe passage there among the stars. It must be so very beautiful out there. With your wings you can fly freely, can't you, Saint? You can visit me at any time, come and go as you please, from the star all the way here. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. I know, and yet sometimes I wish I was like you or Miss Pamitha. But I know I am the way I am because I'm meant to be this way, and I know that you are always watching. So thank you, Saint Triesta Tithys. Thank you and your friends. She wanders out into the afternoon, leaving you there to consider her words. In the Commonwealth, her unwavering faith in the 8 scribes would have been seen as a delusion. Such prayer or communion was forbidden. The scribes were mythical figures, but even they worshipped the stars, and it was the stars that lighted the way for... it would be lit the way for the founders of the Commonwealth, or so its leaders taught. Alright. We can't mentor Ruki at all. He was who I was going to liberate next. How about Bertrude? She needs some work.
Very well then, educate us if thou canst.
You find a remote spot where you and Bertrude can discuss any of her misgivings or fears about your journey or your fellow exiles. The conversation gives perspective and relief.
The strange designs of the 8 scribes. Their everlasting sorceries are strong within this land, and we shall yet make further use of them, we think.
I think I want that.
Fear is a commodity to be extracted in exchange. Thine we shall keep safe with us.
Tizo. While traversing the splendors on the way to the mountain summit, you pass a monument to Molten Milithy, and Tizo happens to take notice. I greet you all again, old friends, and you especially, great-grandfather. Thank you for watching over me and all of us. My friends and I could maybe use your help if you would offer it to them, whether through me or any one of us. We shall honor your names in the nights to come. Soon you and he are finished paying your respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Molten Milithy has shown you favor. +3 glory, that's good. You and your companions arrive again at Scribe's Gate. Shall we, reader? The exiles of the Nightwings, and you again, Tariq. Greetings, Celeste. Aye, we have returned. The stars shine darkly these past nights. Nothing more than a portent of your arrival, is it? Likely nothing more. Now they are ready for you. Then come forth, each of you in turn. Please state your name, Wait, you. She points to Bertrude.
you are new amongst this group. You shall go first. Please do as she asks, Bertrude Murdum.
We are known throughout the downside as Big Bertrude. We follow Sandalwood, for we are fond of him. He led us into exile, and he shall lead us out.
The gate guardian acknowledges her and motions for the rest of you to proceed. Everyone does so as before, including you. Once you all have declared yourselves, she regards you all for another moment and beckons toward the mountain's top. The Ite scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Thank you, Celeste. Until the summit, Tariq. Well, nothing to do. Again, you have reached the fall of Solium. Hold on. Or one among you can go free, provided you prevail against the dissidents in the Liberation Rite. Reader, we would ask a moment of your time. We have to talk. As darkness falls, the minstrel and Volfred pull you aside. We have some news that is, depending upon how you look at it, potentially unfortunate. Lone Minstrel directs your attention towards the dark night sky. The stars are fading. It is true. With the advent of the Titan stars, omens of the night sky, each representing one of the downside's mythical monstrosities. Visibly fewer stars seem to be shining than once you saw in the sky above. Yes, the stars themselves are vanishing. Why, I do not yet understand, but what it indicates is this. The rites are drawing to an inexorable end. The light of the stars. Without it, the rites would be unable to commence. Anyway, that is the bad news. The good news is that there are a lot of stars to go. How many liberations rites remain? I do not know as yet. The arithmetic is complicated. An estimation of the number of the stars, the rate at which they fade, the accelerating rate at which we're being summoned here. Anyway, I'll work it out as soon as possible. For now, I felt that you should be aware. We can inform the others in due time. At the moment, though, they have this right to think about. And so do you. Look forth. As the stars above begin to shine, Volfred's words begin to sink in. It seems you have a limited number of chances remaining to liberate your companions, including this one now. Barker bursts out from some hidden corner, laughing as he paws at his mask.
A real pleasure to be here, mates, truly. Barker Ashpaws. Call me Barker, though, alright? By the by, it's a real pisser getting here, you know.
Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws, do you thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain?
Oh, my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot we got the stars above up there to make me watch my language. Though, let's get one thing straight, lassie. I don't give a bother for your sacred mountain, so you take it and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're just here for the laughs, you got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babes, they're so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? You better put up a good fight here, or I ain't gonna be happy, understand?
Then he shoves his mask back on.
Right, go on then, let's hurry up and get this damn thing started.
As for you, Nightwings, you bring darkness with you. What have you wrought upon the stars? Celeste, please, we do not know what is amiss here. The Nightwings have come only to see that the liberation is carried out. Indeed, then make your choice, Nightwings. Who among you is to be anointed here?
Alright, rookie. This is your day.
Good choice there, sister. Though if I get out of here, I don't know what you're gonna do without me.
Alright. Understood. Let us return him home. I gotta choose his friends. I want to choose May because she got bonuses, but Gilman likes Rookie more. By this night's honor, he shall fight with all his might. Alright then, mates, no more waiting, no more holding back, and let's rip him to shreds. Let's go, let's go, let's go! About time we got this blasted business underway, aye, Greentail? Rookie looks on in silence, but says nothing in response. Oh, that's good. Come on, Eaglehead, score some fucking goals! Oh.
We gotta beat him. We gotta beat him. We gotta beat him. Don't care what it takes. Don't care what it takes. Don't care what it takes.
It seems the pressure of the Liberation Rite is getting to him. Don't think I done forgot our little arrangement there, Greentail. Though I'm gonna make you another deal. If I get out of here tonight, then you're scot-free. That's right, cause I ain't gonna care even a lick about you once I'm gone. Now you just think on that while my pack and me go wipe the floor with you. I mean, if Rookie gets out of here, then he's scot-free also, so that's not a particularly compelling reason to throw the match. What in the... Alright, mate, something's gone right funny with that orb, as I can tell. Better laugh it up while we still can, alright? Indeed, something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. Oh crap. All right. What a joke! You know what I was thinking we were gonna make him cry after all this. Come on, mates, I'm right at it with this stuck-up place, so let's get out of here already, eh?
So, what now? I guess I'm just supposed to jump into this waterfall thing back here, and then that's it. Home free. Home free.
Something comes over him then.
Now listen to me, chums. Don't any of you go thinking you're gonna miss me, yeah? You're gonna do just fine. You without old Rookie Greentail there to keep an eye out all the time. You, the rest of you are a bunch of slowpokes and all that. Me, I'm gonna be so busy drinking myself silly on Cowrell stock, I'm sure I'm soon gonna forget each and every one of you. But just in case I don't, you be sure and stop by and visit me if you get back there too. Just look for Mama Greentail's shop. Right in the heart of town, you can't miss it. So yeah, stop by, say hi, you know. Now, I think I gotta go, so, excuse me.
He drops into the shimmer pool and disappears within, although you can still hear him going on about something.
Whoa, let me tell you, this is weird in here. Hey, it's starting. Oh, wait! This is weird in here.
The shimmering pool doesn't actually liberate him, it turns him into a chocobo. Focus, training, prowess, the path towards survival on the blood border. These rites make similar demands of us. Alright, what am I doing for Joe Dario? Oh yeah, this is really good. Okay. Rookie Fumo. Rookie turns into a Fumo. He returned to the wagon after having prevailed against the dissidents in the Liberation Rite. An important victory. Perhaps this knight may too regain his honor. You succeed in liberating Rookie, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. Then Wolford asks the group to gather. You sense you know what news he is about to share. Everyone, I must apologize for bringing such news at this late hour, but I felt that you all would wish to know as soon as possible. The context of our plan has changed, and now it's at 47%. He looks at everybody, about at everyone before revealing to them what the stars have revealed to you both. The stars above are disappearing. They seem to just be fading away, one by one, for reasons that the scribes alone may know for certain, though we all may harbor our suspicions. See for yourself if you have any doubt that this is so. A hush falls over your companions, all exhausted from the rite and now stunned into silence. If this phenomenon continues unabated, and we have every reason to believe it shall, then the rite shall cease when the stars no longer shine. Permanently cease, that is. Your companions exchange glances. You sense negative emotions rising. Confusion. Fear. Before I gave you the impression that, should the Nightwings not prevail in Liberation Rite, there would be other chances. This remains so, however, now our chances are numbered. The exact number I have yet to ascertain, but to be quite frank, there are more of us than we have chances left. You sense your fellow exiles are beginning to realize what this means. I know this must be difficult to hear, but it is not to be a cause for panic. Our plan remains essentially unchanged. We shall take which opportunities arise and return as many as we can. I urge you all to take whatever time you need to think this through. At dawn we shall head south again to the Moonlight Alcove. We can discuss this further then. Now please get some rest. Our path grows harder, though not insurmountable. Not while we stand together. We can still prevail. The group disperses. Some whisper in hushed tones, others turn to their quarters speechless. There will be time later to better understand this omen. After the Liberation Rite, you find Sir Gilman in an uncharacteristically quiet and contemplative mood. He salutes you crisply with his tail. Glory to you, Master Reader, and glory to the noble Rookie Greentail! Long may he prosper in the Commonwealth, and in so doing may he benefit the plan into which we all have been thrust. Then he falls silent for a time. You sense him growing very emotional. In noble Rookie, this knight found a kindred spirit, Master Reader. One of questionable honor, the greatest cunning, and such blinding speed as to befit a minstrel's tale. This knight fears our triumvirate lost something irreplaceable in him. Of course, this knight is also pleased that Rookie has achieved his freedom, very much so. And furthermore, this knight shall now continue training even harder than before. Rookie Greentail, this knight shall trade on it until such time as he is swifter than the jagged lightnings of the deathless tempest. Now, Master Reader, this knight must beg his leave of you, for it is time, not for his rest, but for his training. Know that he is very grateful for your wisdom and your guidance in these rites. Between yourself and Master Rookie, you have instilled this knight with an unshakable resolve. He bows low and bids you good evening. The Dissidents. I myself, Haoub, did form the Dissidents, under the simple tenet, those who do not belong, belong. The other scribes, some of them showed, at first, reluctance to allow an imp, and one a curse, to designate one of the 9 triumvirates. But Mur, the Horned One, stubborn as he was, stood by my side. In time, they came to understand, for as I remained as ever at their side, a living bit of proof of their absurdity. The Dissidents are an extension of my oddity, those who do not adhere. They are not to be discarded, underestimated, or dismissed. They are as necessary as are those against whom they rebel. On kinship, each one of us within the 8, besides the imp Haoub, we would have perished in the downside had we not found each other and together formed our union. Here in the downside all are bound, but that which binds us here does have some latitude. We chose the bond of kinship. Our exile took precedence over our differences. The empire, which had subjugated all our kind into a tense alliance, shall give way to a society in which our differences are paramount. There may you embrace your ancient cultures, whilst jointly forming a great culture all its own. Next to mercy, it is kinship that shall form the bedrock of our commonwealth. Good morning, everyone. We're at the mercy of the stars, and none can say how soon they'll shine for us again. Let us recover for a while at Moonlight Alcove and decide how to proceed.
Why are you doing this? Reaching out to me again, like this. I have been abandoned in this blastic rock more times than you could count, reader. And each time I have laughed it off, like so. She laughs. I fear it will be different this time. Before I knew that someone else would come around and pick up where the previous idiot left off. But now? She scoffs and falls silent for a time. Well, it seems there may not be a next time after this, if what I am to understand about the stars out there is even a half-truth. So then I can anticipate an eternity of utter solitude, without even the blasted rites to keep me company. Understand that while I may be an apparition in a glass to you, I yet retain a shred of self, and do not happily foresee the outcome. And yet, you keep on coming back to me like this. If this is all in service of a torment, then you are most cruel, O lovely reader. Commendably so, I have to say. So then, am I to understand you wish to spend more time with thee thus, knowing full well the stars are soon to put an end to this little affair? As if in answer to her question, you feel what seems to be the Beyonder crystal itself. Stay with Sandra a while longer. You focus your mind and remain where you are, there with Sandra, in the confines of the Beyonder crystal, and remain there with her for some time. No words need to be exchanged between the two of you, and, in the darkness there, for once she does not feel alone. Soon enough, however, she bids you to depart. You shall leave those idiots of yours listless if you remain here for too long. Be gone already, and let me know if you have need of me. That scene made me cry when I first played it. The old bog crone, then. She does have some potential, I should think, more so than most of those with whom you share that little residence. Then let us bring her forth. Soon Bertrude appears and heeded the summons.
We sense that thou hast need of us. Ugh.
The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, crone. You answer to me here.
Ugh.
How very eloquent. May your vast experience exceed your knack for pleasant conversation. I trust that you shall have little trouble here without the benefit of your more communicative friends. Now come. I don't like using Bertrude that much. She just has kind of an awkward moveset, I guess. The AI is kind of stupid. I say that as it's trouncing me, but, like, they keep throwing it when jumping into it would do more damage. I guess maybe it's so they don't get banished. That worked out in my favor. Haha, yes!
A simple test, undeserving to be called a challenge.
I ought fail you just for gloating, crone, but these are not my rules, and your performance was sufficient. Thus you have passed my test. Congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now farewell.
Good riddance to that mouthy wraith. Show us, then, what trinket she bestoweth upon us.
Milithy's tale. The sisters of the arch cut into her skin. Once she was through with them, she shed the rest. Let's give you Milithy's tale. It allows Bertrude's blast to pierce through solid objects, which is pretty good. Best make yourselves as comfortable as possible for here, Nightwings. I mean, for the time. Sorry. The rites ought to commence again before we know it. Until then, be well. Thus, you and your companions remain on the mountaintop, waiting for the stars to shine again. The cycle of the rites is ending. The news that Volfred and the lone minstrel revealed to you now threatens to disrupt the group's resolve. Who most deserves their freedom? Can there be any hope for your revolutionary plan to change the Commonwealth if too few exiles manage to return? These questions hang like a fog over you and your companions as you linger there on Mount Alaudiel. For now, the exiles of the Nightwings vow to stick together, for as many opportunities as they shall have. Many moons pass. One cold evening, Volfred finds you off on your own. Well, my girl, it's time once more. Come see. Volfred indicates the sky, and through the snow you see that he is right. Soon all of your companions are gathered. Volfred regards the group in a steady manner. As you all know, I have refrained from participating in the rites myself. This was a long-held choice of mine for a variety of reasons. Chief among these reasons is so that I might direct our plan, free from unwanted attention, both from our adversaries here and those who would oppose us in the Commonwealth. Another reason is, my past experience conducting the rites, it did not end on good terms. Before my time, the Nightwings comprised 3 exiles, Brighton, Erisa, and Orlek. Little Tizo was with them as well, still learning their ways. After Brighton regained his freedom in the liberation rites, the Nightwings took me in. A story for another time, but for one thing, I had capacity to read the ancient book. Anyway, when next we earned our way into the liberation rite, Orlek was anointed for return. He had long been in exile, and his horns were beginning to show. We prevailed. Little Tizo snuffed the accuser's pyre, thus Orlek earned his freedom. However, just as the shimmer pool was to engulf him, Erisa, she shoved him from the precipice and took her freedom in his stead. She perished, of course. Only the anointed can transcend the shimmer pool. But she thought the warnings were a myth, and paid the price. She was always restless. I presumed Orlek perished too. To survive a foul from Mount Alaudiel, I was left alone. Subsequently, I made no attempts to reassemble the Nightwings, knowing that such treachery, such harm was even possible as part of this ordeal. I frankly still do not hold Erisa entirely at fault for what transpired. I hold instead the Commonwealth responsible, for it put us in this desperate situation. And I resist the urge to think the rites may partly be to blame as well for pitting brother against brother, sister against sister. Volfred breathes a deep sigh. Now I see that Orlek yet lives, at a time when our plan is already in motion. And even the stars are fading. Perhaps a signal that the scribes themselves know that the Nightwings are divided, and that they do not approve. But I choose to take it as a sign that we must act. The scribes have put us in a sort of circumstances where each one of us may rise to the occasion. The Nightwings in our plan need all the help they can get, and so I have made a decision, which I wish to announce here to you all. In the name of the Nightwings, and reader, by your leave, I would conduct the rites again. Long have my skills languish in this matter, I admit, although I trust I shall regain them soon enough. While I once vowed never to conduct the rites again, our present situation calls for all our resources to be brought to bear. So if I may be of use during the rites to come, I shall avail myself. That's all. Now then, our readers shall determine where we are headed come first light. Volfred bows his head to everyone, while the others exchange looks, then one by one salute him in turn. Once more do several stars shine bright in the night sky, revealing several paths for you to pursue towards salvation. Haub, Kaelmer, Milithi. Tamitha's at Kaelmer. Might be some good character growth from Tamitha there. Milithi, yeah, I want to avoid Manly. He's annoying. Haub, we fought Sir Deluge enough, I think. Let's go to Kaelmer. Hollow Knight Rock. The stars revealed to you a path toward the Isle of Kaelmer, where the rite shall soon continue. Alright. Oh wait, oops, I forgot to read the new passage in the book, whatever. Get out of my head. You rise after a fitful night of slumber. Somehow the voice, which thus far has reached you only in the rites, has found its way into your sleep as well. You shake free of it. The time at Moonlight Alcove has made everyone restless. The group is eager to set forth at your command. He thinks Volfred is a traitor because he's trying to start a revolution. As the wagon soars across the skies above Wakingwood, you notice Volfred appears lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he is thinking. Do not mind me, reader. It is simply that being here in this vicinity, it brings back a lot of memories and gives me much to ponder. I hid within those woods for many, many years, making preparations for our plan. I cast aside my ryments and became untraceable. There I waited for the plan to germinate, so it means a lot now to be here above that place at last. Quite the view, wouldn't you say, my girl? Again we return to the Isle of Kaelmer, hidden in the storm. I have met very few who know of it at all, much less have walked upon its stones and sands. The disconcerting tales of the demise of Kaelmer Ropecollar, who met his end there on that isle, the imps that swarm and breed across the place today, seem not to mind. Having paid witness to the rites firsthand, they have become rather obsessed with it. I sometimes wonder if it is more difficult to conduct the rites with such a boisterous audience. May the essence find their way shortly, so that the imps may have the contest they desire. Icy flow, stirring up for landing. Let's land here. Hey, Volfred. There. Volfred appears to have finished sealing some form of document. He smiles as he approaches you. Hello, my girl. Was just on my way out to make a drop. Report a bit of progress our supporters on the other side should like to know. It is not clear to you as yet exactly how Volfred is able to communicate with agents in the Commonwealth. We have our ways of making certain that such messages manage to make their way to whom they need to reach, most of the time at least. It's not exactly the most dignified of methods, but the messenger imp is as hard-working as the rest of us, or dare I say more so. Most imps lack the capacity to do that job. They, of course, cannot traverse the outer boundaries of the downside, but they can squeeze much closer than any of us. Volfred offers to tell you more of this process. It seems that he's been using certain imps to relay messages to his agents at the Commonwealth for some time now. From that point, we depend on certain other means. A trafficker like Rookie would likely be familiar with them. Then my agents intercept the messages as they arrive. The messages are coded in the off chance they reveal themselves before unwanted eyes, but even still, my agents put themselves at great peril there, supporting our cause and our plan. I could not ask for a more dedicated bunch. A shame we cannot meet them, separate as we are. If we succeed in our endeavors, it shall be thanks in no small part to them. They have identified hundreds of good citizens grown loyal to our cause, founded in quarters where they speak freely. Their goal is to grow in numbers while remaining safe. For we cannot resist the Commonwealth if too few citizens stand with us, whether due to apathy or fear or lack of willingness to see our nation as we do. Some of these agents I have known for many, many years, since long before my exile. Many were former students, from my days of teaching Commonwealth doctrine. It was clear then who among us... I'm sorry, he said among us. I can't handle it. Did not take the common view. These days I report to them our progress, and they in turn report theirs back. From that assessment, I update the estimation of our plan's success. Our chances of success increase substantially each time we liberate one of our own, but those loyal to us in the Commonwealth slowly gather strength, regardless knowing of our efforts. Thus do we inspire each other, not unlike the dynamics which I see among the Nightwings here. Now good afternoon then, reader. I have a delivery to make. He strides out the wagon bearing the sealed message. Afterward. Oh. This is just a bunch of vocab. After having reached the boundless waters of Sharp Shoal, you volunteer to survey the grounds. You prepare to head out. Have your companions beat you to it in this case. At ease, reader. We shall conduct the survey this time. They depart, leaving you to rest up. When they later return with nothing much to report, you are feeling better. Alright, Sandalwood. You're pretty rusty from when you were in the Rites a few, like, like 50 years ago or something. So let's mentor you. Certainly, I would appreciate your point of view. You and Volfer discussed the meaning of the Rites, developing a deeper understanding of this contest created to determine the worthy from among all those pitted against each other. It's been a while since my last outings in the Rites, begging for your continued patience as I recollect the way. Let's see. I like this. I'm going to try and get that. I suppose if we had no doubts or misgivings to weigh on us from time to time, the keeping hold of faith would not be such a necessary part of all of this. The wagon comes to a sudden stop after a near miss with someone, or something that got right in its path. At first you see no sign of whomever or whatever it was, but then a voice rings out from off to the side of your path. The friendly yet somehow aggravating tone leaves little room for questions to who it is. Hi guys, so maybe watch where you're going a bit more next time, I guess. You must have scared Dad half to death, I mean just look at him. But it's good running into you like this, because I got for you a really special deal. We got some pretty out there stuff on hand, and it's been slowing us a bit, to be completely honest here. Something about him, I don't know, but Dad just hasn't been himself. Once we open shop, why, these little numbers, they're gonna go flying off the shelves. And you can have first dibs. All you gotta do is give us a lift, because you're headed to the Isle of Kaelmer, right? Just drop us off when you get there, okay? The Black Wagon does not provide for you the most spacious accommodations, but it may have room enough for Falcon Ron, barely, at least for the short remainder of your trip. On the other hand, you sense a troubling energy from whatever strange artifacts he is transporting right now and wonder whether you should get involved. I could give him a lift. Though your fellow exiles exchange cautious looks, you invite Falcon Ron to climb aboard. Oh, great. Thanks, guys. I'll just squeeze right in He does not. Dad, come on. Put your back into it already. Eventually, Falcon Ron manages to get on board as you prepare to set forth again. After what felt like an interminable trip, during which Falcon Ron did not even once cease to speak of matters relevant only to him, you reach your destination. Anyways, thanks guys, and remember what I said, these thingers I got here, you got dibs on them if you come visit me and Dad, that is. Now we'll be going, so seeing you, okay? Whether from Falcon Ron's ceaseless drivel or the ill effects of his cargo, everyone's left feeling out of sorts. You find Jodariel seemingly deep in thought. You consider whether even to bother her. Your presence is not unwelcome, reader. Remain a moment, please. She stares at you for some time. Today marks the beginning of my 16th year in exile. You look back at her and remain silent. You sense that all she wants from you right now is for you to listen. I have kept count, put notches in this breastplate of mine for each passing day. Notice how much it is frayed. 16 years, reader. The orphans whom I fostered would be long since fully grown. Some of them are likely gone. Many of them spoke of how they longed to one day serve with me on the blood border. Sometimes I cannot help but wonder, if I were still captain, could I have protected them? Could I have made a difference? I think not. The Commonwealth and the Highwing remnants, they have fought eternally. Those such as I have come and gone throughout the age. I catch myself feeling pity for my years, but then, had I remained there on the blood border, it is unlikely I would have lived to see this day. She looks at you again. Do you know why they cast me down? I was a decorated captain. They said I was the best. She closes her eyes a moment before she continues. One day, it was a standard patrol, but I ran across a pack of harp fledglings, fully armed and preparing for a strike, but all on their own. They were nothing for my regiment. We ensnared them all and took them in. A considerable prize. They were not yet conditioned and could be made to talk. When the order came down that they were to be executed, I could not bring myself. The Commonwealth, priding itself on mercy, committing such acts through one such as me, it was unconscionable. So I thought then, at least in my younger years, I'd let the damned birds go, made no claims to the contrary, and turned myself in. I was cast down the following week, 16 years ago. Thus my enemies had the last laugh in that exchange. If I were faced with the same choice again today, I do not know for certain that I would have chosen just the same. Now then, I shall go and mark this occasion as I have always done. Be well, reader. She heads out of the wagon alone. Hi guys, thanks again for helping me and Dad back there. We really owe you one, and so as promised, I got something really, really good in stock for you right here. He pauses for dramatic effect, then he reveals to you several artifacts. Black Hoof, Black Heart, and Black Claw. They animate with energy that cannot possibly be completely healthy. Nice, huh? You got first dibs on these bad boys, and I can tell you what, they're going to go fast. They're the 3 scattered remnants of a thrice-cursed demon who roam the downside in a state of madness. Actually, I don't want to sell that yet. I want to give it to Wolfred. Here you go, buddy. Alright, who can we upgrade? I'm upgrading Joe Dario's because it really covers her weaknesses. You guys have a good day out there. Pamitha finds you as everyone is preparing for the coming rite against the Essence. Despite this meaning yet another confrontation with her blood sister, she seems very calm. I know what you're thinking, reader darling, so let me assuage any misgivings you might have. It'll be strictly business between me and Tamitha this time. Believe me, I know there's nothing I can do for her. I am nothing to her, but I can still be of use to all of you. I got Tamitha in here as I was tired of our kind throwing ourselves against Commonwealth lances. Maybe this plan of ours finally might ensure an end of all that. She flies off to join the others just as night begins to fall and usher in the stars. Whoa. Whoa. Once more does this Commonwealth filth darken an already inauspicious night. Pamitha remains steady alongside your fellow exiles and shows no response to being the presence of her blood sister once again. Tamitha looks right at her the entire time she speaks, but never once acknowledges her directly. But there is no more need for any talk between our kind. We are forever at cross purposes. No further proof is needed than these circumstances under which we meet. Pamitha does not acknowledge her. You sense only that she is focused on the rite, set to commence at any moment now. Blah blah blah, tutorial. This is just a tutorial. Now then, Nightwings, I look forward to conducting with you all, if and when, of course, the reader calls for us to stand as a triumvirate together.
Yeah, Volfred's like, oh, I'm starting a revolution. Then, like, he's constantly like, blah, 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 I love the scribes. Blah, 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 blah. Who else do I want to use here? Thanks, BB. Prepare yourself, everyone. Come forth, you Commonwealth scum. Sisters, show them no quarter. Alright. Ouch. Yeah, I saw. Oh, right. Our glory got a debuff because of stupid Falcon Ron. We might not win this one. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see if we can turn this around. Yes! See, teaching Volfred was a good idea. Never mind. Dregs of the Commonwealth, your pyre is ash and your time is past.
We'll have to be more careful. Back at the Black Wagon, you are taking some time to recover after falling to the essence, despite almost putting out their pyre when Volford appears. An unfortunate result, my girl, though I'm confident we could do better. We have the means. There is always the Beyonder crystal there if you need it. The rites may be ending, but we still have time to achieve our plan if we get the better of our adversaries. 48%. Come then, let's see whom we shall square against when the next stars align. Trieste, Jomir, and Goal. Alright. Who are we? Goal, Manly, Jomir, Ignarius. Where is Trieste? I forgot. Hi, Islak. There you are. Sir Deluge. I think I want to fight Manly just because even though he's dangerous, I'd rather fight him now than at the Liberation Rite. Your next adversaries would be the Chastity, headed by H. Manly Tinderstaff. They prevail in the rites not for their freedom, but for fame and fortune in your commonwealth. You and the lone minstrel then go over what he knows of your next adversary. H. Manly Tinderstaff, the offspring of a semi-famous sap industrialist. He was born into wealth and lived in the lap of luxury, never having to fend for himself. When he came of age, he soon was offered cushy ambassador positions that required little more than a silver tongue to convince the Commonwealth that he was keeping busy. He soon grew so proficient at doing nothing much at all that he started spending all his family's riches to assert his fame and status. One day, he attempted to pay off the wrong individual, a particularly stern Commonwealth diplomat, who promptly turned him in and had him sent downriver. Manly was very disappointed about all this, but soon saw in it an opportunity, for he knew well that in his inner circles there were those who had gone to exile and returned. Thanks to his connections, he tracked down the Chastity deep in Wakingwood. He finagled his way onto the Triumvirate using his well-worn skills. He in turn convinced himself that he would earn a position of great influence once he secured a way back to his home. He continues making hollow promises. A shame that this Manly and the Chastity are nothing like the scribe Liu's Sklorian and do not share his values. Now it is time we rested, reader, given all today's travails. You bid the lone minstrel good night and take your leave. It is now too late to prepare for flight, so you arrange to depart first thing in the morning. Hello, my girl. Tizo and I, we were just reminiscing on old times. Tizo is happy to have Volford back among the Nightwings once again. Thank you, Tizo. I am happy to be back among the Nightwings as well. Though you understand why we were forced to be apart for so long, don't you? Tizo indicates he understands full well. I trust that Tariq provided some good company and song during the intervening time. Tizo confirms he did enjoy traveling alongside the lone minstrel for some time. And there he is, right on cue. Something I can do for you, Volford, sir? Volford laughs warmly at this. No, Tariq, we are well enough for now. Tizo and I, we were just remembering the time when we first met, the three of us. Tizo was rather apprehensive then, as I recall. He was merely being circumspect, I'm sure. Tizo has the sharpest instincts of us all. But the bite he gave to you, sir, it left a permanent impression, did it not? It did indeed. I consider it a mark of friendship. May it stay with me for all my days. It's a good reminder that, despite the challenges we faced together in the past, my time among the Nightwings has been extraordinary. Likewise, can I say the same, sir? Tizo shares the sentiment as well. Volford turns to you. I should apologize, my girl. Here we are talking of a history you do not share. Believe me when I say we're skipping over many of the bad parts. What I mean is, it isn't my intention to exclude you as we wax nostalgic. The Nightwings that you know, we are a strange assortment, are we not? Those of us who share some kinship from the past, I suppose we cannot help but seek some warmth in it.
but it should not be to the exclusion of the friendships that we forge right now. So please, why don't you join us for a bit? Together, you, Volfred, Tizo, and the lone minstrel talk a while about the times gone by. The three of them are pleased to be back in others' company again, having grown close through the shared experiences in the past. Just the same, they have welcomed you into the group. In spite of the hardships you have faced, some of the idle moments that you share together may one day form memories you think back on with fondness. Soon the conversation winds down, though it lifted your spirits for the while.
Alright, to the Isle of Kelmer. Oh. Your flight takes you near to where you beach past Stormwall into Deathless Tempest. With the climate of the downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and it started to ravage other regions of the land. Yonder lies the Ridge of Goal, somewhat less imposing when viewed from this vantage point. Do you not agree, reader? The myths of the downside hold that it's no mere ridge of stone, but the remains of Lord Gandroth, once slain by Gol Golathanian himself. Though perhaps such tales are of little import now when you stand to confront the chastity there in just a short while. Hollow Root. Rare Precious Flora. Land here. You make a successful landing in Downside Prairie near the southern edge of the Downside. Memories of having first met Hedwyn, Jodariel, and Ruki come flooding back. You now should have some time in the vicinity before continuing onward toward the Ridge of Gold by land. Who among you has the wherewithal to face this night? Being in the lush overgrowth of blooming pole makes this the perfect time for a quick jousting competition, Sir Gilman says. He just needs a partner. One of your companions steps forward. You wish to fight somebody, little knight? Then come, let's see what you can do. At this, Sir Gilman launches into a litany of instruction detailing the specific methods of the Sea Dominion's ceremonial combat. At last, the two competitors take their positions, then rush toward one another. They collide, then flail away, trading blow for blow. It all seems rather senseless. When at last they stop and catch their breath, Sir Gilman approaches you. This night would have you choose the victor of this bout, Master Reader. Who prevailed? You have no idea how to evaluate what you just saw, but think it best to humor them. I'll say Sir Gilman because he seems invested in this. You declare the winner is none other than Sir Gilman. He beams with pride. It seems this knight yet retains something of the ancient methods of his kind. Pamitha congratulates him on an honorable fight. Sir Gilman is training intently when you approach. Master Reader! This knight was so engulfed in memories of the Sea Dominion that he failed to detect your stealthy advance on his position. Splendidly done. This knight would have been vanquished by you easily. This knight is fortunate to have you as an ally rather than a mortal foe. His kind routinely clamors from the depths of the Sea Dominion to seek greater glory and perhaps a slightly longer life expectancy within your commonwealth. Such an honor it would be to be assigned the rank of knight and to be conscripted onto the front lines of the commonwealth against their vicious winged enemies. In the Sea Dominion, it was our ultimate goal to fight our way to the surface, past our brethren, past the razor reefs, the strangle kelp, the snagglefins that prey upon our kind. Sir Gilman continues listing undersea dangers and terrors for some time. Past the blood sniffers, the electric scallops, the rogue worms of the frigid current, the paralyzing nets of the far fishers, and even past the scalding waters of the glowing trench. Finally trails off. Yet even the deepest myriad of challenges living in the Sea Dominion, it is each would-be worm knight's duty to abandon that place as his or her as at their soonest convenience. How humorous it was to learn that your life within the Commonwealth had quite a bit in common with our existence undersea. 'Twas not all pomp and glory as the stories told. Perhaps it is our lot as Worm Knights to bring strife with us wherever we should go, for even here it seems it is our kind pitted both against our brethren and all others. He remained silent for a while, but then, "Ah well, it is fortunate that this knight found within this place so fine a company as yours. It is a most different change of pace to strive toward a common purpose, rather than strive constantly to outperform each other toward one's own self-gain. Although, to the extent we are competing still, this knight shall ever strive to take the lead. Make no mistake about that, Master Reader. This knight was born to be the best, just like all the billions like him. Now he is off to steal himself. Your pardon, Master Reader." He scoots off somewhere to continue with his self-made training regimen.
The downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious sap colleague Leus Glorian. That river gushes into seeming nothingness. That seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the downside. His existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. The downside southern edge we call the Sandfolds is a desecrated wasteland speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. Here the strength of many who survive the river journey finally fails. If only they could clamber further north, where lies the verdant downside prairie. A better place to perish, to be sure.
A messenger imp with news and rumors, You let it in and offer some light refreshment, as Ruki would have done. The imp's message turns out to be about him. You learn Ruki's past transgressions have all been forgiven since his return to the Commonwealth. He was even offered a well-appointed home and place of business. It must have represented just the kind of lavish lifestyle that Ruki always claimed to have had for himself and his extended family. Eventually, and somewhat reluctantly, however, he refused the gifts. Instead, he tracked down Volfred's agents and gave them ample information, thus emboldening their ranks. The last bit of the message sounds as though it was transcribed word for word from something Ruki said. It simply reads,
"The rest of you better get back here soon, or else!"
You thank this messenger imp for the report. Soon it has all your companions talking. It seems that Greentail had himself a conscience after all. "Ah, the noble Ruki! He sets a shining example unto us all!" Hard to believe he would have turned down living in that kind of luxury, though maybe he got used to it out there. I had every faith that our friend Ruki would stand tall and rise to the occasion.
We understand this Ruki holds no small degree of influence, at least among his kind.
Don't you think he must have been sad to have turned down a house? I hope he isn't sad. Tizo is happy to learn that Ruki joined the revolution in the Commonwealth. The news of Ruki's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. The messenger imp accepts some scraps to eat from you and rushes off. Hold on, I am screenshotting the messenger imp. Okay. The reason for that is because there are no good rips of him on the internet. The Ridge of Gold. The serpent titan Gandroth turned to brittle stone not long after his death, of that you may be certain. What remains is a flat elevated basin that stands as closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and you shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal sigils. This is real Play-Doh. Dylan, what does that mean? We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned on the rock-like forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land, and then the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, so we knew how often to return.
Hey guys, say, what are you guys doing all the way back here? You know, it's not so bad here, I was thinking. I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out.
I just want this.
Pleasure doing business with you guys, so, Everything is prepared and night is just beginning to take hold above the wind-swept fields with ridge of gold when Volfer gets your attention. Reader, I suppose you might remember our first meeting with Manly Tinderstoff. He'll be mortified, of course, if you forgot. I would say that he is an embarrassment to my kind, but unfortunately I've known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan, should he know of my involvement. And so, Volfer dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here. As I am with the Nightwings once again, I can no longer hide from that right. Perhaps, though, he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems to me we have a right to conduct. Alright, we will not be using Volfred in this right, because it could be bad for the plan.
My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings! Come to grace us with their presence once again. You think that you can simply cut us down like last time, is that it? You sense Volfred reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And the colors of those Rymans, they are rather gaudy in the slide, I have to say. Though I mean no offense at this, of course. So do you suppose the ride is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know, I am expecting an important message. From the other side, no less. Come dawn. I hear something is brewing out there, some sort of unrest, So yes, it's a very important message, sent all this way by one of those imp couriers, and I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though I'm sure that I could get you a good deal on their services if you wish, perhaps to contact a loved one back home. All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail as well as we ought, for I have a date with Destiny not long from now upon the fall of Soliam. He continues talking for some time until at last the rite is set to start. Oh, my, look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners, Such a colorful retinue you Nightwings have. You know, I heard the most preposterous rumor about you, that you are harboring an especially notorious criminal, one who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Volfred. But I could not imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true. Anyway, I would like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings. I am H. Manly Tinderstoff, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Manly has intruded on your privacy as you set to choosing your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. Ask him to leave politely. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the rite. Why, yes, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all of you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against this type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes wouldn't mind if they were here. Anyway, now that you mentioned it, I got to go check on my wonderful colleagues. See you shortly, and good luck. Manly leaves at last, leaving you to focus on the rite again. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to use people who are the least obviously connected to... Manly literally got sent to the downside for using his parents' credit cards for Fortnite. I'm going to use the people least connected to Volfred, so it doesn't give away that we have him with us. That idiot Sap and his chastity cronies are all talk. We can take him. Are you quite ready yet, O Nightwings? I doubt you are. Because my colleagues of the chassis and I, we have a trick or two we think shall take you by surprise. Just watch. Oh man, Manly is not good at this. Perhaps you're merely toying with me, huh? Well, all of this is very, very funny, but now stand aside and let old Manly wrap this up, won't you? Won't you? That was brutal. My word, how could this happen to me? You deceitful, ignorant, utterly uncouth pack of fools! Have you any idea what you've done? Wolford watches the outburst in silence. Keep spouting off like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You harbor such a fear within your heart there, don't you? Coming from the aristocracy and now in exile, how they must speak of you. What would they think of you if you don't get out, or even if you do? Wolford remains deep in thought, studying his adversary. There, I see now. Then Wolford recedes into shadows. What? My head? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta! Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure, genuinely so. Manly stumbles away in a stupor. And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him for the time. A bit of mercy for his sake, for my people's sake. As well, it should ensure he has no lasting memory of our encounter here or running into me. Now let's be off before he catches up with us again. Well, if you could have done that, then I would have used you.
I feel so overwhelmed, I think, because the scribes, I think they speak to me and lift me up whenever I begin to think that I'm going to fall.
Yes, this is the best. After you bested the chassis almost effortlessly, there's little time for you to rest as yet. The night beckons, and the next rite reveals itself to be a vital one. It is already time, reader. Come see for yourself. The coldness of the season now presents to us another chance. He heads out on the straightaway, and you follow in turn. Indeed, among the remaining stars, you see one with which you are familiar now burns ever brightly. Already time for liberation again. And Tamitha's there. That's not good, considering she trounced us last time. Already are the Nightwings summoned back to Mount Alodiel. Picture the Rites as a wheel broken free from a black wagon. It is turning uncontrollably and shall soon reach a sudden stop. We should have several chances left for someone to go free. Either us, or else our adversaries, but not both. What is at stake each time is further complicated now, I must admit, knowing we have so few opportunities remaining. Those whom we send back into the Commonwealth, should our plans somehow fail, they may look back upon their exile with fondness. 51%. So returning to the Commonwealth is not inherently a mercy, I don't think. Moreover, there are also those... sorry. Among us, whom we can count on to prevail in the Rites. We need them on the Nightwings just as much as we need them in the Commonwealth. We cannot simply grow our numbers here, given the circumstances. And so, who stays, who goes, these choices affect us all. No pressure there, my girl. Now I don't know about you, but I shall go and take my leave for now. Let's set forth again at daybreak. May seems to be in a happy mood, though she always seems to be around Jodariel, who is listening to her with patience.
So I would just look within the silo gaps each daybreak for the morning dew to drink, and once in a while I'd find maybe a stream to drink from too. Though I get very thirsty sometimes too. I tried drinking tree sap once. It wasn't very good. Really, it was very bad, I guess. She needs to be discussing how exactly she managed to survive in the downside all alone for so long. Jodariel watches her intently all the while. Food was hard to find usually because, this is a bit embarrassing, but I tried never to harm a living thing, because it makes me very sad. But sometimes it is the way of things, I understand I do, and so I would eat as often as needed to, and tried a lot of different things to see if they were good. Most of them weren't, though. But I got by, I learned to get by. I already knew how a little bit because back home where I came from, there I had to get by there too. Here, well, it was harder, but it wasn't that much harder really in a way. Jordario remains silent for some time as May trails off, then she embraces May and holds her there gently. May lays out of breath, but says nothing either for a while. May I ask a question of you? Me? Oh, of course. What question is it? How old are you, do you know? Oh, I'm 19 years old. That is how old I am, I think. Truly. Then you have seen a lot in not a lot of time. Know that what you have achieved, it is a feat. I have known seasoned soldiers who could not have lived through the experiences you have described. Oh, really? Wow, thank you so much. You've seldom seen May look so joyful as this moment. As for Jodariel, you could count on one hand the number of times you've seen a smile play across her lips. You leave them to the conversation. Downside Clinger yields fruit from time to time, though only if one says the magic word. Oh, I got a downberry. The Chastity. Those bearing the name the Chastity all count themselves disciples of Liu's Scolorian, the 100 Minds, known first for his wisdom, but also cherished for his modesty, integrity, and kinship. Scolorian's priority in forming his triumvirate was to instill in all his subjects a deep-seated deference and respect for the rules governing the liberation cycle. The cycle of the rites needs to be respected to understood, and needs to be understood to be respected, Scolorian said. Thus the Chastity are emissaries of the cycle. Should they earn back their liberty, then they shall spread enlightenment itself, and all of us shall grow. You might have noticed as I'm reading these passages, the people we meet along the way seem to embody the opposite of these ideas. All of the original intents of these different triumvirates have been corrupted in some way. I think Manly is one of the most obvious examples. Alright, let's land here, because I know I'm using Pamitha. You make landing upon Mount Oladiel, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete the post-flight inspection. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. This means that I myself may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. No, however, that is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on a surer footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I want you to know. I shall, of course, defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all of this is over. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Pamitha visit the monument of Trieste Tithys here in Emperor's Ascent. I have to hand it to you, Pamitha. You have a real gift for getting yourself into one bad situation after another. Now here you are praying to the dead to bring the stars back. Is that it? Maybe you'll get out of here this time. Things might even be worse back home. Soon she has finished paying her respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Trieste Tithys has shown you favor. You soon shall ascend the mountain. Pamitha is staring out the window as you approach. I miss flying, reader darling. Take it from me. It feels as good as you'd expect. It's not enough for those Commonwealth brutes to cast us down here if they can get their fingers on us. They make sure we never fly again as we once did. All while calling it an act of mercy. Let me ask you something, You've learned a thing or two. What have your studies taught you of my kind? I know that you've suffered. The Harps may see little recourse at this point than to avenge their fallen and see to it that the Commonwealth suffers in return for all that has transpired. Such sympathies cannot have earned you popularity, I gather, darling. In fairness, you leave out a number of atrocities my people have inflicted upon yours, but nonetheless you seem to have the gist of it. My kind certainly aren't known for their good sense of humor, I can tell you that. My little tongue got me into no small amount of difficulty till I learned to keep it well under control. The mountains I come from, the views there certainly are something, but there's a bleakness to it too, being surrounded only by those consumed by the desire to avenge. We're very proud like that. Everybody vying to be the strongest, to kill the most of you. That way we might just get a shot with the prince. Your understanding is that the males of the harp are all gone, though. Perhaps one remains. They mate as poisoned spiders do, and would slay each other in their sleep. That's the voice. I was trying to do his voice. The Archjustice Androbles the Ninth. Continue the line, if he even exists. Imagine that being the best case scenario, darling. She shakes her hand. Anyway, I was just thinking I rather enjoy the traveling we've done. The change of scenery does me some good. Perhaps I'll stick to wandering after all this. In fact, I have a fancy for some wandering right now, if you'll excuse me. She heads out of the wagon to the ancient formations of Mount Aladiel. Alright, Sandalwood. You're still rusty. Let's fix that. I should be interested to see which lessons you have taken from the book. You illustrate to Volfred some of the intricacies of the rites, focusing on how all three in a triumvirate can move and act as of one mind. You sense he grasps some of the concepts. The rites demand we act as of one mind, in perfect unison and harmony, and free of any doubt. I have grown more accustomed to being a part of the Nightwings of today. Just so, I must say, my girl, your understanding of the rites is more than I expected. I'll go this way. I'm still deciding who I want to liberate, and it might be Jodariel, so I'll want to upgrade her if I'm liberating her. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King Orez, and Jodariel happens to take notice. You scribes are quite predictable. The others were naive to think our opportunities of freedom were indefinite. So now we have to make the most of every chance, is that not so? I fail to see how that is any different than before. Soon she has finished paying her respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Under King Orez has shown her favor. Under King Orez, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begins drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept this as the will of the scribes. And you, Tariq, do you accept their will as well? But the lone minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you come forth and state what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him. You, I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain. The cycle of the rites is ending. While I do not know exactly why, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes, and so I wear the raiments once again, in case that may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring for our freedom to the people there. She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Then move along.
The guardian of Scribes Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste? What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it, I think you would agree. In equal measure it has drawn us close as separated us. But if their aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then... No, I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate no less. But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Why is he in love with a 2018 video game? Having reached the peak of Mount Al-Adiel again, you see the vastness of the downside all around you. Leaves you deep in thought regarding which of your companions ought go free this night, as Ruki did the last time. Volfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my girl, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the Triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Oh wow, it wasn't that long ago. Ours was a Triumvirate of exactly 3, while 4 with Tizo would prove to be an exception, though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, my former companions, Erisa and Oralek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there's anything more you wish to learn of them. Not really. You bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much farther we have yet to go.
Hey guys, so I don't know what's going up there with all them stars acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal on all this stuff from anybody. I mean anybody on the downside. You can trust me when I tell you that, okay? So go ahead, stock up. So be seeing you guys.
Oh, a page was revealed from that, huh? You cannot survive the downside if you cannot get around. Howlers shall descend on you, or a tempest shall shear you to pieces. That is just the way of it. Traveling through the environs is no simple feat. Consider yourself blessed if you are born a cur. If not, however, you shall have to find a means to cross these lands without the benefit of 4 strong paws. Liu Sklorian believes this untamed land can be traversed through means unnatural. I thought at first that he meant sorcery, but he suggests invention. He speculates that carriages could cross this land by harnessing its fury. A wild thought. In my case, my paws shall suffice. Alright. Once more, you have gained the fall of Solium, or one among ye may go free. But first, you shall have to prevail against the essence and the liberation rite. Reader, your companions are gathered there under the fall. They shall be counting on you. Indeed, as the cycle of the rites turns ever faster, so too is our plan set in motion. My agents of the Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of a stir out there, and word has reached high places that the rites are ending. This is our chance. Though let us not despair, should victory elude us here. We shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my girl. It's time. Alright. The Pyre. Tamitha swoops down from somewhere and unfastens her mask. I am known as Tamitha Thane.
I mean to return to my ancestral home and promptly resume my responsibilities as flight tactician of the High Wing Remnants. Our long stalemate against the Commonwealth shall soon be ended, should I and several of my sisters manage to rejoin our clan. Then our vengeance shall be swift and thorough. Your quarrel with the country that cast you into exile is beneath the notice of the scribes, Tamitha Thane. Here you shall be judged under the stars. My quarrel with the Commonwealth is all that gave me and my sisters strength enough to reach this point. The scribes ought well take heed of how my people suffer. We are not weaklings anymore, like your Trieste Tithys. We shall not fall in line with flightless fools in their naked attempts to subsume our heritage, our culture. Speak not again thus of the saint, or you shall be expelled, Tamitha Thane. Tamitha scoffs and then turns her attention to your side. And Nightwings, as for you, the fury we shall eminently show is nothing in comparison to the hatred growing for your commonwealth in the mountains on the other side. She signals to her sisters to ready themselves. You seek your freedom, but there shall be nothing save for devastation should you manage to return. Alright. Oh, we don't actually have that many choices here. Okay. I think Sir Gilman... I think it's time. I think he'll be happier on the other side. A second chance bestowed upon this knight! Alright, who's gonna say goodbye to Sir Gilman? Well, Pamitha has to be here. Glad we're giving him another shot. Let us this time send Sir Gilman on his way. One final obstacle to overcome, here I can soar again above your commonwealth. Such destruction I shall rain upon it soon. But first, let us dance this final time. As the liberation rite continues, you sense Pamitha reaching out to you, or perhaps just reaching out to anyone at all. Reader, someone, please. Let her prevail. Let her prevail. Please let her prevail. Hear this once. If this thought makes me a traitor, so be it. But please let Tamitha prevail, for she is here wrapped up in all this because of me. The plea trails off and Pamitha remains steadfast, all her attention focused on the liberation rite. And as for Tamitha... Prepare yourselves, Nightwings, and as for you, Pamitha, I await the outcome of this night, for it shall soon ensure that I never have to see your smirking countenance again. Oh no, I conveniently have to pee right now. There are a number of reasons why I'm letting her have this. It's not just out of pity or empathy. I also think a race war will destabilize the Commonwealth and allow for an easier revolution. This knight is not yet fit to be returned unto the lands from which he cast himself unto this place. Nay, for there is more repenting to be done. Commonwealth fools, how fitting that traditions such as this should spring forth from a culture such as yours. They ought to have put me to the sword, but no, they in their arrogance and in their smug superiority deigned reason that those such as I ought to be exiled instead. Here then we would live in penitence and learn the error of our ways. She laughs for once, though not with joy. Such utter nonsense. And now they shall receive me open-armed, a champion forged by their precious system. Yet I shall use every waking breath to bring them all to ruin. She turns to her fellow sisters of the essence and regards them with respect. Sisters! We may not be bound by blood, but ours is a stronger bond even than that. May we soar together in the stars some day, and I swear to you the high-winged remnants shall survive. Farewell, sisters. A moment later she is gone, engulfed within the waters of the Shimmer Pool. Yet you hear her voice reverberate for one last time. Farewell, sisters. Good a time as any to say thanks for having me along on this strange little journey of yours, reader darling. +8 quickness permanently, yes. Well, Tamitha, I knew full well I could never give back to you the years you spent in exile, and I knew I could never regain your trust. But maybe now at least I can start to live with myself again. Though how absurd. I might have doomed the Commonwealth, the Highwing Remnants, and Tamitha alike this night, and yet, once more all I can think of is myself. I need a drink. After the liberation rite, you find Pamitha drinking alone. Everyone else seems to be off doing something equivalent. You are about to leave her be when she looks up at you. That's that then, reader darling. Mission accomplished. Is that what you wish to hear? That my loyalties have, all this time, rested with Tamitha? You know that's not that simple. Besides, I think I've made plain my intentions from the start. I'm here because of her. She looks up at you then. But I'm still here because of you. She pauses again for a time. I don't know the reasons why we failed that liberation rite. Because I threw it on purpose. I don't wish to know. Well, I told you anyway. And as you could probably detect here, darling, I feel no joy in this outcome. But I feel as though a part of me was liberated there, along with Tamitha. So, and I realize this may make little sense right now, but thanks, if nothing else, for being there to help me see this through. She then gestures toward you with her bottle. I don't drink, sorry. You turn aside the bottle. Tamitha shrugs and smirks. More for me, then. Nothing more needs to be said. As the hour grows very late, you excuse yourself and leave her to your thoughts. If Pamitha ever was conflicted in her intentions, you sense that now she is fully committed to the group. She has nothing else to strive for. We have but a few such liberation rites remaining. Exactly how many I do not wish to speculate about as yet until such time as we can better say for certain. Under no circumstances would I suggest this is ideal. However, it is opportune enough that our plan may as yet succeed. 52%. Although, all of these setbacks, I fear. Wolford trails off and falls silent. Some of the others exchange looks. They're beginning to understand. With the Rites soon ending, everything which Volford has sought, both on his own for many years, and now with all of you, all of it may have been in vain. The hush spreads to the others. But not to you. You then proceed to do something that none of them seem to expect. You raise your voice. Each of your fellow exiles turns to you, their expressions asking a question with no easy answer. What are we going to do? As you meet May's gaze, the words for the occasion begin to crystallize in your mind. You tell them all that you have all struggled to have come this far across the downside, through many challenges which you have faced. None of you pursued this quest with any guarantees. It is a quest you all knew was unlikely to end well. But something far more vital is at stake. The disappearance of the stars above can be no accident. It is a sign that the world is changing. You all stand poised to ensure the world you leave behind for your loved ones, for each other, is a world worth living in. If you can believe any of this, then believe above all in each other, to trust that you may yet prevail together. After a brief period of reflection, you share one last sentiment with the group. The people of the Commonwealth need us as we need one another. Then you join the others in silence. Thus do you remain together with your thoughts. No one speaks for a time, but then... Ah, the struggle you describe, O Master Reader! It has been glorious indeed! Wherever you shall lead, this night shall follow without stopping once even to think! You truly believe that your Commonwealth can change its ways, then, Reader darling. I suppose that I may yet come to believe it too.
Thou wouldst dare to change this ancient world, Reading One, and yet thy words are tinged with certain truths.
Tizo vows to stand with you, no matter where your quest shall lead. May the stars alight for you, Reader Madam. All the while, Volford remains watching you intently. Then his expression softens, and he smiles. You are right, of course, my girl. We are the Nightwings. It is precisely as you said. The people of the Commonwealth need us as we need one another. Lead us, then, reader, to the end of our quest and the dawn of the new age for all our kin. Everyone, for the Nightwings! Everyone responds in kind. They stand with you no matter what. They await the outcome of your vision of the stars, which burn with renewed fury because now the last rites beckon. Oh, wow. We can already choose where we're going next, huh? Kalmer, Liu, Milithi, Orez, Haub. That's a lot. Stars of the eight scribes, they shine together now as one. The lone minstrel draws breath as though surprised what he sees. He backs away and averts his eyes. This is another sign the rites are soon to cease. Few chances yet remain to confront the adversaries you have met during your journey. So, Milithy's at Liu. Not Milithy, Ugmilda. She's kind of scary. Ignarius at Kalmer. Manly at Orez. Barker, Milithy. I think I want to fight Udmilda so she doesn't get to the end. Because I'd rather squash her now than later. Because her getting free could be a problem later. You are set to re-encounter the Withdrawn led by Witch Udmilda. However outlandish her intentions seem, one ought beware of her. He then reveals what he has learned of her and her designs. Witch Udmilda, one of the Bog Dwellers and head of the Withdrawn, a triumvirate more interested in the legends of Easlok, the Astralborn, than the Rites. Her kind was known to be reclusive to the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values. She practiced the unspeakable. Somehow, one day, our research into flammable regents grew into an obsession with Easelock, despite widely held belief that he is dead or never did exist. But Umilda held that Easelock is merely dormant, and shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last could Easelock return to his glorious home, and Umilda would go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Gudmilda in for spreading unrest, she was all too eager to comply. After all, a sense of the downside meant that being that much closer to Easelock's resting place, where she believed she had much work to do, where the withdrawn stood ready to assist. In short, the 8 scribes certainly would not approve of what she aims to do, so be careful in her presence, reader, and for now, good night. You bid the lone minstrel a restful night in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. You are unaccustomed to seeing Bertrude smiling, and that there she is, doing just that. You soon see why. You have observed before how her manner seems to soften to the degree it can whenever Volford is around. If only I could have seen their faces then. What was your secret, dare I ask, dear Bertrude? It appears that they are reminiscing about old times in the Commonwealth.
Flame-resistant inks, Sandalwood. 'Twas the inks themselves which kept those volumes from being burnt to ash.
Flame-resistant inks, of course. The good officers who came to visit, they were so intent on burning all the evidence, they did not stop to think the evidence was fireproof.
Alas, that they later found a way to burn thy stamping press regardless.
An illegal invention allowing written materials to be published at an extraordinary rate. In 617 AS, the Commonwealth was under siege from within, as anti-theocratic propaganda quickly spread.
Thy written words, they moved us many times, and many others whom we knew there in the southern bogs.
No matter, dear Bertrude. What's done is done. At least we made it difficult for them, is that not so? While introducing some of our fellow citizens to new ideas.
Perhaps.
My words would not have reached near half as many were it not for you. Not to mention how I managed to elude them for another decade or so. I am ever thankful for your sacrifice.
Thy thanks shall not be necessary, Sandalwood.
Well, you shall have to take them from me anyhow. Thank you, Bertrude, for helping to fulfill a modest author's dreams. What's good a stamping press without good inks?
No good at all.
They exchange a laugh at this, but then...
Even still, through this new ordeal, thou hast no love for us, is that not so?
Bertrude.
Nay, we understand full well. Thou needest not further explain thyself.
There are different kinds of love, Bertrude.
On that account, thou hast nothing to teach us, Sandalwood.
They each remained silent for a time. Our hearts, they cannot be controlled, Bertrude. Blasted things they are. They act well on their own. He puts away his pipe. I am blessed to have you in my life, back in the Commonwealth and here as well. I mean that, although I know that it is not enough. At first, Bertrude does not seem to acknowledge this in any way, but then...
Nay, Sandalwood, it is enough. It is enough.
She departs without awaiting a response, brushing past you as she goes. Volford soon turns away as well, politely bidding you a good evening. The two old friends have evidently managed their way past certain tensions in their long-standing relationship. They rather seem to draw a certain strength from one another. Alright, let's read. On Worth. The fallen Empire of Sar was ruled according to an ancient bloodline thought to be infallible. Our society shall instead be by those who earn the privilege. We the 8, we cannot bear the burden of determining your worth. It shall be determined by your peers and by you yourself. We shall provide a framing through the rites to put you to the test against yourselves, against your kin, and against your adversaries. The downside cannot let us all go free. Thus freedom to the worthy. As the worthy, your true calling then begins, as you return to a society which longs to learn the wisdom that you have gained along your path. The worthy shall lead. Alright. Few more people have been liberated. And the rites are continuing way faster than before, because the stars are disappearing, which is concerning. Next week on Pyre, we try to get somebody else out, so our plan can continue. And we can hopefully get a revolution going. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching.